What I'm going to do is attempt to summarize a scientific study that was conducted in 2022. The study was titled, Mobile Phone Induced EMF Stress is Reversed Upon the Use of Protective Devices. Results from 2 experiments testing different boundary conditions. Now that was kind of a long title, but basically they tested the physiological effects of a cell phone held up against participants' ear for 15 minutes. And the term protective devices they're referring to in the study's description, well, that's Shungite. And Shungite was used in 3 different forms. One was in the form of a pendant around their neck. One was a small piece of Shungite affixed to the back of the cell phone. And the third way Shungite was introduced was in the form of Shungite insoles in their shoes. There was a pilot study before this one that had 6 people, and the results were basically exactly similar, which is why they moved on to a larger study. And this study had 60 people involved. I'm not going to get too much into the exact details in the study because you can refer to the study yourself and look at all the specifics. So I'm going to kind of keep it vague here. But 60 people took part in this study, again, where they held a cell phone up against their head for 15 minutes. And then in the study, 4 different physiological changes were studied. One of them being the heart rate variability, which is the measurement of time intervals between heartbeats. The second was arterial blood oxygenation levels, the body's capacity to carry oxygen and carbon dioxide. And the third was saliva cortisol levels, which is the measurement of stress hormones present in the saliva. And then the last measurement was taken from the tympanic temperature, which is the temperature of the eardrum. So they tested how much effect the EMF coming from the cell phone heated up or had localized heating in the ear region. One of the main findings revealed in the study was the effect on the body's autonomic nervous system during that 15-minute call. So it demonstrated that holding the cell phone against the head does impact the vagus nerve, which is a key player in our overall health and well-being. The vagus nerve is often referred to as the wandering nerve, and it plays a role in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for promoting rest, relaxation, and recovery. I'm not going to go over all the aspects the vagus nerve has regarding our bodies, but I'm going to go over some of the key functions, and it's important because of this study, and you'll see why. So one of them is the heart rate regulation, another, the digestive function, and then our breathing, our inflammatory response, even our stress response, and our voice and swallowing. Now, I went kind of quickly, but all of those aspects of our overall self are affected directly by the vagus nerve. And the study did show that the cell phone use up against the head absolutely had a harmful effect on the vagus nerve, which ties into all of these other aspects of us. Our vagus nerve is also closely tied to emotional regulation and mood. It influences the production of neurotransmitters that can help calm the nervous system, fostering relaxation and balance. It also plays a role in social bonding and emotional connection. Function is part of the social engagement system. So a well-functioning vagus nerve plays a key role in reducing the effects of chronic stress while promoting relaxation and recovery. So the first measurement during the study that was focused on was the heart rate variability, or HRV, which represents the variation in time intervals between heartbeats. So the HRV functions like a fitness tracker for your nervous system. It shows how efficiently your body can switch between stress mode and rest and recharge mode. So a higher HRV reflects greater adaptability to stress and better recovery. On the other hand, a low HRV can indicate that your body is stuck in a prolonged stress response, which can strain both the heart and the immune system over time. So a low HRV is often associated with issues like anxiety, poor sleep, and chronic illnesses. And the study did show that EMFs from phones was linked to changes in the HRV parameters, which suggested elevated stress levels. However, when they introduced Shungite during the mobile phone exposure, not only did the HRV restore to baseline levels, but it actually exceeded them. And the study went on to say, this overcompensation indicates that Shungite enhanced parasympathetic activity, effectively counteracting the EMF-induced stress. So EMF exposure from mobile phones can disrupt our autonomic nervous system regulation. However, the use of Shungite effectively mitigated these effects, promoting autonomic balance and reduction in stress-related health risks. The second measurement focused on was salivary cortisol levels, which reflect the amount of stress hormones present in saliva. Cortisol is a hormone released in response to stress. Participants exposed to mobile phone EMFs did show elevated salivary cortisol levels compared to their baseline measurements, indicating a clear physiological stress response. Then when Shungite was used during the mobile phone exposure, it appeared to counteract this effect by reducing the EMF-induced stress response and lowering cortisol levels. And the next measurement in the study assessed the arterial blood oxygenation levels, which reflect the blood's capacity to carry oxygen and carbon dioxide. The study found that exposure to EMFs from mobile phones caused a decrease in arterial blood oxygen saturation levels in the participants. So this decline suggests that EMF exposure may impair the body's ability to oxygenate blood effectively. And when the participants used the Shungite protective devices, their arterial blood oxygenation levels remained stable and aligned with baseline measurements, showing that Shungite can effectively counteract the negative effects of exposure to EMF on the blood's oxygenation levels. Then the final measurement in the study focused on the tympanic temperature, or the temperature of the eardrum. The study observed that exposure to EMFs from mobile phones led to an increase in eardrum temperature among the participants. And the rise suggests that EMF exposure can cause localized heating in the ear region, likely due to the absorption of electromagnetic energy. Then again, when participants use Shungite protective devices, their tympanic temperatures, or eardrum temperature, remain stable and consistent with baseline measurements. So the Shungite devices not only help to reverse and stabilize this effect, but help the person to overcompensate. And the study did show exactly that. It revealed a unique EMF-related overcompensation of our autonomic nervous system regulation during the use of Shungite devices. It goes on to state that the findings specified that these effects were precise and showed no influence from the placebo effect. So during this study, all of the participants not only restored their normal values in all of the 4 areas that were measured, but overcompensated and actually benefited from the introduction of Shungite to the environment. This was just a quick summary of one of the over 90 scientific studies available on Shungite that you can read yourself at mysticalwares.com. You can also explore the benefits of using Shungite with your beehives on our Shungite Beehives webpage at the same website, mysticalwares.com, or learn more about our Shungite Grid project. If you found this video helpful, we would appreciate you sharing it. Thank you.